Top 3 Number 1. Report number 659, Class Alpha. Submitted by witness on Friday, August 8, 1997. Military man on training exercises. Witnesses 3, black, bipedal animals. Year, 1993. Season, spring. Month, April. State, Oregon. County, Clatsop County. Location details: Saddle Mountain Watershed private timber land owned by Cavanham Lumber Company, now owned by Willamette Industries I believe, a rock quarry near the Lewis and Clark River. Observed, 3 large bipedal hominids covered with black or very dark brown hair from head to foot. Middle creature approximately 7 to 8 tall, flanked by 2 6 to 7 creatures. Tallest BF stood very still, flanking BFS rocked side to side, shifting their weight from one foot to the next. All were observing our convoy descending from nearby logging road. Second witness, Sergeant Jeff Martin, witnessed same 3 BFS approximate 30 minutes prior. Observed them leave the quarry, describes graceful, fluid, glide-like stride, exaggerated arm swing, ate up quite a bit of real estate in few steps. Obviously returned to the open after Sergeant Martin's observation. Subsequent search, 6 mo's later. Bigfoot Research Project, reveals tracks various sizes ranging to 21x8, possible fecal sample retrieved, sent to Dr. Fehrenbach for analysis. Also noticed, daytime sighting, sunny day at approximate 3 p.m., multiple BFS open exposure, middle of quarry, rock backdrop. Multiple witnesses, 4 total to date, high security, both civilian and military, dense, remote wilderness demolition. Exercises. Prior to sighting, heard whoop sound. Originally thought it to be one of my troops. Sound emanated from beyond where troops were working. Dismissed as a strange noise. Other witnesses, demolitions training at 3 separate blast sites, rock quarries, composition 4, C4, plastic explosives and ammonium nitrate and diesel fuel. Descending to safety staging area after setting charges to await explosion. Blank. Looking south towards 2nd, former, Balst site while in convoy. Observed being watched by 3 BFS. Vied for approximate 25 to 30 seconds. Environment, very dense temperate rainforest. Saddle Mountain Watershed near the Lewis and Clark River approximate 6.5 miles east of seaside, punctuated with several roads and rock quarries. To maintain the road beds, heavily gated accesses. Heavy security patrols, due to previous lawsuits, additional security details due to the nature of our mission. Top 3 Number 2. Report number 680, Class Alpha. Submitted by witness LP on Thursday, June 1, 2000, year, 1996. Season, fall. Month, November, State, Oregon, County, Josephine County. Location details, from Grants Pass, Oregon. Take State Highway 199, Redwood Highway. Towards the coast. Drive past Rogue Community College, the Applegate River Overpass, the Valley Fire Station at Wilderville, and the Oregon Department of Transportation Way Station, on the left. The residence's driveway where I was staying at the time and where the sighting occurred is on the right, approximate 1/4 mile past the way station. Nearest town, Wilderville. Nearest road, Redwood Highway, Highway 199, vicinity of mile marker 9. Observed, okay, I feel as if I need to qualify this statement. First of all, it was the discovery of this website and report submission form which inspired me to come forward and reveal my sighting incident. I have held off for over 4 years for fear of accusations of incompetence and lunacy. After all, who doesn't poke fun at the freaks who tell of UFO and Bigfoot incidents? Second, I will confidently say that this sighting is absolutely true, and I will continue to have vivid memories of it all of my life. Third, I am a highly reputable source. I am a licensed English teacher currently working at a large public high school in Oregon. I am educated, am of sound mind, and am not wasting my efforts here on a hoax of any sort. Finally, my most accurate narrative memory of my sighting, at the time of my sighting, see above. For details, I was alone in a 2-bedroom residence located approximate 1/4 mile north of US Highway 199, on a gradual Wooded slope. On this 3-acre property, there are 2 horse pastures, one below the house and one above the house. Both pastures are surrounded by active hot wire fences and contain 2 horses which may move freely between both lower and upper pastures. I was completing a research paper for a college class at the kitchen table. I had light on, and my friend's dog, a small brown heeler, was on a 35-wire tether tied to the porch outside the small house. I was completely engrossed in schoolwork when I heard the dog outside begin to go ballistic. I was quite alarmed by this, so I immediately tuned into the animal's actions. I will never forget what I heard: all the dogs and horses from the other residences, which were quite far away over several rises and ridges, were shrieking non-stop. Wanting to be cautious, I went to my gun safe and removed a large caliber pistol and a powerful flashlight and headed towards the front door. I turned off all the lights in the house and I opened the front door, carefully searching with the flashlight and pistol before exiting. What I saw unnerved me. The small heeler was focused on the lower horse pasture and steadily loosing a quiet growl. The 2 horses had moved to the upper pasture and were rustling about and neighing very unusually. I squatted down beside the dog, who did not pay me any attention, very unusual, and pointed my flashlight in the direction of his muzzle. What I saw at this time nearly stopped my heart. There was a large figure crouched down outside the outer hot wire in the tall grass beside a telephone pole. My light was reflected back at me by 2 small circular markers on the pole and further dispersed by the light fog, making initial identification very difficult. I immediately thought bear. To my complete shock, the dog suddenly screamed and leapt straight into the air with its hair bristled. Upon landing, it bolted under a pickup truck and whined like a puppy. As this happened, realize that this all occurred in but several seconds. I saw a creature rise up on 2 legs and begin to move along the hot wire. I rose to a full standing position and aimed my pistol right on it. In my mind I was thinking bear, no, horse, no, man, no, God, what the F is this thing? I consciously tracked the creature with my pistol sights and flashlight beam. I was a military police officer in the army for over 5 years and trained in firearms tactics. It all came back at this moment, let me tell you. For at least 2 full seconds, in which time I saw this huge thing take off in a full bipedal run, the thud-thud rhythm and distinct movement of 2 legs/feet are unmistakable. I was more frightened than I can ever remember being, yet I am a grown man. And I bolted for the house and immediately armed myself with larger weapons and called my friend's father to come from Grants Pass to search for this thing. Upon his arrival, we drove down to the road outside the hot wire where I estimated the creature to have been. Since the road was gravel, all we found was disturbed grass, as if something large had moved through it. No footprints were located. For the remainder of the night and into the next morning, all the animals in the small community near Wilderville, were restless and noisy, the little heeler being the worst off, for he did not calm down for a whole day. I hope this info is helpful to your research, and I hope that someday we, the population at large, can prove the existence of whatever the hell I saw that night in Southern Oregon. Also noticed, I have included all my info in the above narrative. Other witnesses: unfortunately, just the dog and I witnessed the creature. Time and conditions: approximately 10:00 p.m. in limited moonlight and a light fog. My sighting occurred far outside the city, therefore, there was no ambient light. The temperature was chilly but not extremely cold. Environment: typical Pacific Northwest forest at approximate 800 elevation. Area is sparsely populated with residents. Sighting occurred approximate 1/4 mile north of Oregon State Highway 199, a 2-lane highway. Follow-up investigation report. LP has taught 10th grade history and English at a public high school in Oregon for the last 2 years. He has just changed careers and is now a police officer for a metropolitan police agency in Oregon. He has a bachelor's degree and is nearly finished with a master's degree from the University of Oregon. He was a highly decorated military police officer in the U.S. Army. He is an intelligent man with above-average observation skills. L.P.S. recollection of the property and landscape in Wilderville are very consistent with that area. There are several small farms and houses in that area of Highway 199, and most of these parcels have horses and other livestock. Although his observations of the creature were limited in detail, due to the fogginess and reflection of his flashlight, LP is absolutely positive that the creature moved on two legs and was tall. LP is 6 feet 4 inches and estimates that the creature was quite a bit taller. He does not recall any particular smell associated with the creature. I found this witness to be truthful and credible. Witness is receptive to further interviews by members of the BFRO. Top 3. Number 3. Report # 33358, Class B, submitted by witness No on Tuesday, February 14, 2012. Year, 1977. Season, Spring. Month, May. Date, 21. State, North Carolina. County, Carteret County. Location details, it was a long time ago, I really don't remember. Nearest town, Havelock. Nearest road, FR 144 off US Highway 70. Observed, one day some friends and myself were out for a drive in Carteret County, NC in the early afternoon. We were on this 2-track road called FR 144 outside Havelock, NC. When we came around this bend in the road, we all saw something very strange, a very large, dark figure walking on 2 legs toward us about 75 yards away. It was only for a few seconds, because whatever this was turned and walked straight into the woods. When we got to the spot, we all agreed we thought it went into the woods. We stopped but did not see anything. The ground was dry and hard, so we did not see any signs of it. I don't think it was human because it was an area that has no farms, homes, or anything on it, and it is just wilderness. Also, it was dark from head to toe, and it appeared to us that it did not want us to see it. Other witnesses, too. We were just driving. Time and conditions, about 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Environment, it was a pretty flat forest. Follow-up investigation report by BFRO investigator Kevin Zork. While joyriding in the Croatan National Forest, 3 off-duty Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point military police officers observed a 6-7 brown figure walking towards them on Forest Route 144. The weather was clear and warm. Time was mid-afternoon. Moving at 20 mph down the curvy 2-track road, the MPs first noticed the bipedal figure when it was 75 yards away. Within 3 seconds it turned to the right and entered the thick woods. The form was reported as broad-shouldered, hair-covered, and muscular but not bulky. Its behavior appeared somewhat reclusive to the witness, although it never ran, but rather walked like a human away from them. No facial details or other observances were reported. Due to the short viewing duration and speedy departure of the dark brown figure, the party quickly drove to the spot where the figure was last seen and did not notice anything unusual. They felt anxious after the sighting but did not feel threatened. However, all 3 were adamant about staying in the car. Consistent with their police training, none of the unarmed MPs suggested searching for the subject, as it was difficult to see more than 50 into the area where they believed it to be. They waited, sitting in the vehicle for about 5 minutes, yelling and listening for a response or the sounds of bipedal walking. No foot tracks were detected, and hearing nothing, the trio soon left the area. During 3 years of military police service, the witness never reported the incident, and rarely mentioned the event to others. After the witness was discharged from the military, he soon lost contact with the other observers. At the time of the sighting, the witness was working as a law enforcement officer, an occupation reliant on observational skills, courage, and readiness. I found him to be a sincere and credible individual who was unable to identify what animal he observed, ultimately describing it as man-like. Although 35 years have passed since this sighting, he thinks of the event often and recalled important details of his experience for this report. The Croatan National Forest is one of 4 national forests in North Carolina and a true coastal forest in the east. The Croatan National Forest's 160,000 acres consist of pine forests, saltwater estuaries, bogs, several freshwater lakes, and raised swamps called moccasins. Bordered on 3 sides by tidal rivers and the Bogue Sound, the forest is defined by water. This extensive habitat supports a great diversity of wildlife, from deer, black bears, and turkeys to wading birds, ospreys and alligators. The federally protected Croatan National Forest is still sufficiently remote and most able to support an extant species of primate. Unexplained incidents in nearby counties verify that southeast North Carolina has suitable habitat for a diverse species and a rich history of sightings to prove it.